Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect.
I preach for a few minutes today. As we embark on our journey through our text, we will find three boys by the name of Shadrach, Meshach, and some say a bad Negro. They were taken captive into the land of Babylon, and they were put in high positions. How many of you know that when God elevates you to a high position, somebody's going to get mad? How many know that when God starts blessing you, somebody's going to get jealous? Everybody ain't going to celebrate with you when God starts blessing you. Yes, and that was the problem with these guys. The king's men started plotting against these guys, and they conspired with the king and said, you know what, these boys will turn their back on you. So the king, he sent a decree throughout the land that mandated that at the sound of the music, everybody was supposed to bow down and worship the golden image. And as a result of not doing that, you will be put into the fiery furnace. So as we know the story, the music sounded, and everybody bowed down except these three boys. And when the king's men saw that they didn't bow down, they went and reported back to the king that these boys didn't bow down. So the king requested for them to come into his presence, and I'm going to paraphrase. The king said, you know, is it true that you didn't bow down? And they said, oh, true, king, we did. So the king was probably like, you know, I guess we had a misunderstanding. I'm going to need y'all boys to bow down when the sound of the music comes. Because if you don't, you're going to be cast into the fiery furnace. But these boys said, you know what? We thank you, king, for the offer that you've given to us, but we just can't bow down to you. You see, I'm amazed at how these boys made up their mind not to compromise based on their surroundings. A lot of us find ourselves influenced by the people we're surrounded by. We just like chameleons. Do you know what a chameleon is? A chameleon is an animal that changes its color and adapts to its background. You see, some folk, every time they get around a different group of people, they change to try to fit in. But how many know God is not calling for you to fit in when He's called you to stand up? You see, let me drop some mail in somebody's mailbox this morning. God is not calling for you to be Christians only at church, but He wants you to be Christians behind closed doors. See, He's calling for people to be Christians at the job, at the schoolhouse, at the college, in the dorm room, wherever you may be. He's calling for us to be fire that was meant to consume you. It was actually meant to refine you. You see, when precious metals are found, they have to go through the fire as a means of their refining process. And what the fire does is it removes all of the impurities and unwanted materials in the metal, so when they come out, they look smooth and polished. You know how when you go in the store and you see some real fine jewelry, you know, a necklace or a bracelet or a watch, you see, it didn't just get to the store. It had to go through the fire first. Some of us are trying to get to the store without going through the fire. In other words, the king called for his best, his strongest soldiers. The devil wouldn't be bringing out his best against you if you weren't a threat to him. See, if you weren't of any importance to him, he wouldn't be worried about you. But the fact that he's bringing out his big dogs against you lets you know that you're on the brink of something. It lets you know that you're getting ready to walk in power. It lets you know that you're getting ready to step into a greater anointing. But see, but before you get to your next level, the enemy tries to come intimidate you and he tries to scare you. But I'm here to let you know today, you don't got to be scared. Because you got a word in 2 Timothy 1:7 that lets us know that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. You don't have to fear because the Bible declares in Psalms 27 and verse 1 that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? You don't have to fear because 1 John 4:4 lets us know that greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. See, the Bible tells us that as the king's men were taking them to the fire was so hot till it burnt up his men. You see, some people will take you to the fire but can't take the heat. God Almighty, boy, you preach. Those folks that's been lying on you, those folks that's been throwing dirt on your name, they've been stealing from you, they've been into the fire, those same folk gonna get burnt up by the fire they trying to take you to. They were still thrown into the fiery furnace, but let's take notice of something. They were tied up before they got in the fire. They were tied up while being thrown into the fire. But when the king looked in, they were walking free. Oh, yeah. I stopped by Union Pentecostal today to let you know that you don't look like what you've been through, because there were some things that had you bound. Yeah. There were some things that you needed to get deliverance from, but deliverance doesn't take place outside of the fire. What God is saying is the only way to get rid of some stuff is to allow you to go through the fire, because it's only through the fire where some of that stuff will get burnt up. You see, the fire came to set us free from pride. The fire came to set us free from jealousy. The fire came to set us free from telling lies. It came to set us free from that bad attitude. It came to set us free from self-righteousness. It came to set us free from strife and malice and hatred in your heart. That's the purpose of the fire.
You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do.